Hi guys, we're back, and my recent video of the grid has done very well. You guys are really liking that. So I wanted to do a little behind the scenes, a how-to on how I made this diorama display. And by the way, there's a little Grogu action for you guys right there. So a lot of people are going, how the heck did you do this? So I'm going to break it down in this video. It's going to be very short, very simple, and then you can do crazy stuff like this, or maybe like this, or maybe like this, or really anything else. So this is the one we're going to break down today. If you want to see a breakdown of any other poses from the grid, just let me know in the comment section down below, and subscribe if you haven't already. But let's go. All right, first up, let's talk about the supplies you need, and I will link all of these in the description below, so just stay tuned for that. Check that out below. You're going to need some blue tack. This is just some cheap, sticky blue tack. There's nothing fancy about this. Get whatever kind you like. Clear would be good. I just happen to have blue, and it is what it is, but they've got other different variants of it. You're going to need some zip ties. Now, the zip ties actually do matter. This is a 75-pound zip tie. I got it at Lowe's. You know, nothing really super fancy about this. The thicker, the stronger the zip ties, the more counterbalance you're going to get when we actually go to install them. So you're going to have to play with this. I found this worked for this particular diorama. I used a different zip tie for the drone because this was too strong, and I'll show you about that in a little bit. You're going to need some acrylic rods. Again, I'll link these in the description below. These are not anything fancy. These are just acrylic rods. I think they're 3 for, I mean, $10 or something. It might be cheaper. I don't remember. But I got them on Amazon. Again, links down below. And that's really all the supplies you need, other than something to cut the zip ties with. You can use scissors. I found these little clipper tools for like modeling kits. These actually work pretty good. So I have these. They're easy to get in tight spaces. But you can use scissors or a razor blade or something if you want to. Really, that is all the supplies you need. And I got Spidey over here doing crazy stuff, but that's all we need. Let's go ahead and get into installation. All right, so I'm going to try and show you this without getting too much in the way. It's going to be actually quite simple. So we're going to take one zip tie. We'll just grab one of these. Simple, right there. We don't need it out of the way. The zip tie is going to go around the back bar, and it doesn't matter if you go left, right, whatever. It's going to go around the back bar, so you're literally just going to feed this across, feed this in, zip it. Not all the way. All right, there we go. That's about what we got, okay? Once you've got that, you're going to take your acrylic rod, put it in. Actually, you know what? I need to go this way. Sorry. I need to go this way. You're going to put it in here just like this and just pull this tight. Sorry if my arm's in the way. All right, there we go. So there you go. Now you've got the zip tie on there with the rod, and it's very simple. So from here, it's actually really simple. We're going to take our clippers. We're going to clip the excess, which we don't need. Okay, easy. We'll worry about hiding that piece back there in the back in just a little bit. We're going to do the same thing on the other side, so let me just go ahead and take care of that. Really simple, barely an inconvenience. So we're going to zip tie here. We're going to take our rod, stick it in there. I know you guys can't see it from your angle, but I'm doing the exact same thing. And if this thing slides down the bottom, which it tends to do, come here, you. There we go. All right, there we go. Okay. Now I got both. You want the zip ties on this section here fairly tight. Okay. You don't want it slipping around. I'm going to cut that one. Okay. So now I've got one rod there, another rod on the other side, which you can't see. This is where it's going to get super complicated, okay? We're going to take this zip tie, we're going to slide the zip tie down almost to like the bottom of the rod, okay? And we want just barely a little amount of the rod actually showing. Yeah, you guys can see that, right? So I'm trying to do this on camera, it's fun. So I've got just like, I don't know, a centimeter or so, a couple centimeters of the rod showing down the bottom. All we're going to do from here is rotate this back to the side. All right. watch this. You're going to rotate it just like this. Okay, so it was like this. And you've got to have, oh, mother Spidey's knocked Mother Spidey down. You've got to have just a little bit there so you'll have room to move it. If you've got it like half, I mean, you got nowhere to go, right? So you're going to take this, move it up to about 1 centimeter or so, enough to where you can maneuver it and you fold it down. Now, what's going to happen from here, as you fold that down, the zip tie is going to add pressure. It's going to want to flip back up. Okay, so that's what you're looking for. So you're going to do that on both sides. So it's going to flip up just like that. And you want to, if you're doing a drone, which is what we're doing today, we're going to want to make sure they're both a similar height. So I'm just going to slide that zip tie down the other side, rotate that in, and then slide this up to match. So we want it to be somewhat even. Now, the reason I added the blue tack, all right, is because on the underside of the drone, it's actually somewhat, you guys can see that, it's actually somewhat slippery. So you can actually see, possibly, right in here is where I had the blue tack going on. And the reason I did that is because it was wanting to wobble around. And you got to get this thing balanced pretty well before you go putting a figure on top of it. So let's see if we can't balance this thing out. It's going to take you a minute. This is not something that you're going to get done in the first try or 10th try or 20th try. But I'm literally going to put it like right by this fan, kind of like where this bar is. And I'm just going to play around with it until it balances. And there's no way I'm going to get lucky the first time. And this is what it does. You're just going to play around until you get it where you want it. Okay? And you're going to play around. Oh, well, that was actually quite easy. That's unlikely. Probably because I've done this like 10 times. But you're going to play around with it, and you may need to go that way or this way or however you want to get it, but you'll get it balanced. So it's still got some height going on because the zip ties are still pushing up, which is where your figure comes into play, right? The figure comes into play. I've got mine in a normal pose. There's nothing crazy about this pose, guys. This is very simple. I just wanted something to where I could put them on here and it would balance and it would look okay. So hopefully I'll be able to do this and not knock anything over, which will definitely, I'll probably knock something over. So we'll see how it goes. So we're going to press straight down. And I may have this a little higher than I previously had it. And I'm literally just going to balance the figure on here as best I can, holding onto the drone. And it's going to want to go one of two ways. All right, so I can tell it wants to fall. It wants to fall that way, I can already tell. So, okay, I can tell it kind of wants to go that way. See if I can get you guys over here. All right. All right, so you can see that didn't take a whole lot of time, right? It wasn't too difficult to do. The zip ties there. Now, we'll tell you to do the drone. These thicker zip ties are kind of a problem with that. I actually have a different zip tie for the drone. And these are just ones that these actually came with my Luke lights. I don't know what they are. They're just cheap little zip ties. But you can see the size difference between the two. Hopefully you can. All right. This one right here, this is all you need for this little guy. It's not tough. But we're going to do the exact same thing. Probably going to knock that over as I try to do this with the other rod. And you may not want to add the drone. You may want to, whatever. But we're going to try and do this while I got you guys on camera. Let's see if we can't just do the same thing without knocking everything over. Probably won't work, but we'll try. Here, you guys got to go at least out of the way just a second. All right, let's see if we can do this. If this doesn't fall, it would be a miracle. Here we go. Come on, you can do it. Come on. Okay, how about holding your breath, man? That smaller one was it's definitely a little more tricky to get on there. Okay, so my blue tack came off my rod, but that's okay. So, if you can't get the zip tie tight enough just by hand, grab some pliers or something. And get some extra leverage on it. Especially this little one. Don't fall over, Spidey. There we go. Okay, and we're going to do the exact same thing. I'm going to trim the excess. Okay, and let's see if I can't. I'm going to take this off the stand. And let's see if I can do this real quick. Flip this camera around. Come on. Okay, so this is what we got going on. Okay, so I literally have the zip tie. This is exactly what you're going to look like, whether it's the smaller one or the larger one. You got about a little bit, maybe like a centimeter or so of the pipe going below the zip tie. And all you're going to do, just like this, is rotate it down. And you can see how the pressure of that zip tie is wanting to push this back up. Okay? If I was to use a thicker zip tie on this little drone, it would be flying crazy and it wouldn't balance all that great. That's why I use a smaller one. Okay, so we've got the zip tie there, zip tie on that side. We got our drone. The Spidey is still flying somehow, don't know how. But I'm going to go ahead and get the other drone put back up there. So put you guys back over here. Oop, there we go. This side. Okay, so my blue tack came off of my rod. You could probably zip tie this on there. This just worked. I didn't have a problem with this. So depending on how high you want this to go, you want to get it down to where you can bend it and then adjust your height. So I'm gonna put my blue tack on the end of this thing. Okay, and then our drone. Going to go right on there, and depending on how you want it angled and where you want them looking and wherever else you want to go, there you go. Super easy, barely an inconvenience. So hopefully that was very helpful to you guys. All right, so I'm going to get off this tripod real quick. If you guys enjoy this type of video, then let me know. We'll do more of them. I love helping out the community with different pose ideas and whatnot. My Scarlet Spider did fall while I was posing this. But there's our drone. There's our zip tie holding up that rod. That is a smaller rod. There's all kinds of different sizes on Amazon. That one actually is just a thinner one that I cut to length. You can just cut them with a hacksaw. There's nothing really fancy about that. But there is our Spidey disassembled and reassembled right before your eyes. And it didn't take all that long. Now, it did take me hours to figure out how to do it. So you are benefiting from my pain and my frustration and how many times this thing fell over. So, you know, for that, the good way you could pay me is subscribe, hit the like button, and comment down below with maybe another pose in the grid you'd like to see how to. So there's our drone. There's our Spidey. Guys, as always, click what you like. See you next time.